And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Mobil Open, where two more drivers will race their way into the Mobil All-Star Race. I'm your host, Seth Cole, and sitting alongside me is fellow NCG colleague Anthony McCurry and fellow NNSCRA colleague Matthew Rodriguez. They're going to bring the action along with myself here today in this exciting event. Now, Matthew Rodriguez is fighting the flu, so we're going to let him save his voice for the actual racing part. But Anthony, let me ask you first what your expectations are for this race based on the racetrack, based on the field we've got here today. So we've got Jake Cole on the pole and Robert Cruz in second. But what is your opinion on how this race you think is going to go?
I expect a lot of action today. I expect, mainly the one thing that I expect is, I expect to see drivers going through these turns, a little differently than what they have been doing in the Truck Series race. For all those that were in the Truck Series race, the trucks have better grip than these cars do, so I expect them to run the middle to high lane. Otherwise, the low lane would be really slick. Otherwise, I expect this to be pretty much just like the Truck Series race. Have a couple wrecks at the beginning, but have a nice green flag run at the beginning, at the end rather. And yeah, that's what I expect.
Now, we don't actually race this racetrack, Trenton Speedway, on the regular NNSCRA circuit, but we're racing all the All-Star races and everything here at this racetrack. And you've had the opportunity to test out this racetrack before and see what it's got. What is there about this racetrack you like? What is there about this racetrack you don't like?
I have never seen a track with a boomerang-like backstretch. That is one thing that I find really cool. It's not like Chicagoland where it bows out at towards the left. It bows in, out, and then you turn right. I like that. I kind of like that. I like the turns and the fact that you can do a lot of things in them. Like I said, though, you expect to see them running in the middle to high lane during this race. But the turns are very flat, very fast. I was in the Truck Series race. There's a lot of room on this track too, so that's another thing that I like about it. You have your space. Another thing I like about it is the pit in, pit out lanes. I think that's really cool. How you enter pit lane and have this big wide pit lane, and then it kind of narrows down at the end.
And you mentioned the pit lane. These drivers are going to have to make a mandatory pit stop, whether it be under yellow, whether it be under green. It will have to be done. They can just do a stop and go. They could do a 4-tire stop. They could do a gas and go. Just that they have to come down pit road and pull into their pit box. How do you think that's going to play out into this race?
Mandatory pit stop is a great obstacle to throw at these drivers, and I actually personally think that it's a great idea. Normally, you would have, like, just recently at Road America on my series, that we didn't have a pit stop, and that was Matt Wells just running out the front all day, and nothing really big happening. So I think throwing, like, and even in the NNSCRA and the NCGMRS Discount Tire Series, throwing a pit stop is something new. It's something extra that these drivers had to think about. So I think it's a great idea, and I expect to see a lot of strategy, and I expect to see a lot of action.
All right, thank you, Anthony. As you take a look here at this field, we can give you at least the top 12 starters. Jake Cole on the pole, Robert Cruz in second, Chad Smith will start off in third alongside Jack Richards, Patrick Murphy and Aaron Columbia in row 3, Robert Bann and Jake Berger in row 4, and Adam Chambers and James Bald in row 5. So the pace car is going to peel off, and so will the rest of this field behind the pace car. Jake Cole on the pole, as mentioned, and Jake Cole really hasn't done much as far as the Mobil One Cup Series. He hasn't really made a name for himself there, hasn't really made that a permanent area as far as dominance, but he did in the Snickers Cup Series last season, ended up winning, I think it was like 3 of the last closing races, starting with Talladega last season, the second race at Talladega, and then I think he won 2 of the last 3 races of the season, including the season finale at Homestead. So I think he could be one who would go to victory
Oh,
lane
we got
here.
an engine failure. Jacob Lawler, 28. Sorry about I cut you off, but they're Jacob Lawler in 28 car just blowing up.
That's kind of a shame that if engine blew. I've seen him. I've seen Jacob actually do some pretty good stuff, but not when he gets in a wreck or has engine trouble.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, and Jacob was a winner in the NCGMS Discount Tire Series.
It's fun that I can be able to go 3 wide at the beginning and still be able to race.
And the Mobil Open is green. We're underway here at Trenton.
Oh, we got a wreck in the back.
Huge wreck. Okay, that looks like half the field with freaking involved. And yeah, I'm not in the light of the 4 hit the wall.
Yeah, that's the 4 of Robert Cruz, the Armor All Chevrolet from Kevin Harvick Incorporated. It's a big wreck occurred there at the very start of this race. And I'll bet that was somebody maybe spinning the tires or something. I don't know, but Jake Cole is going to lead them down here to the caution. It looks like a drag race for second between Patrick Murphy and Chad Smith. And it looks like the winner of that's going to be Chad Smith. Adam Rose, he's involved. T.O. Bain's gotten a piece of it in the 22. There's a 38 car of Adrian Brace. Jordan Hester may have been involved, along with John Dillon and Michael Harvey just ahead of him. Looks like the 27 of James Ball got a piece of it.
Daniel Schwab looks to have gotten some damage.
So a big wreck here puts us under the caution for the first time. Let's take a look at the replay. Okay, so here's a look at what happened, bringing out the first caution. This was up pretty much near the middle of the field, starting with the 21.
Looks like Adam Rose got into the 22 or something like that.
3 of Adam Chambers may have forced Rose up into T.O. Bain.
Yeah, right there you see Adam Rose getting into the 22 of T.O. Bain, and then it's just a big pileup after that.
Looks like they made a attempt to go 4 wide, and the 21 just came on into 22 and the 5 hit the 23. There's no room, hit the wall, bounced off. A huge chain reaction behind them. They've caught about everyone. Pretty sad. All those guys had chances to get in.
Absolutely. Every one of these drivers had a chance, especially with the fact that that mandatory pit stop could have done something there. Well, while we're under this break and showing you the starting lineup, let's talk a little bit about football. Just to kind of lighten up the thing. Matthew, how about the Green Bay Packers going 16-0 this year?
I'm trying to debate whether the Packers can go 16-0. They could possibly go 16-0 as long as they beat the remaining teams they're going up against. I think the Bears would be able to give them somewhat of a challenge.
Yeah, Jay Cutler and Brian Urlacher of the Bears. That could be a tough challenge, but Green Bay's been very impressive with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. And I was actually when I was on my vacation, I was down watching games, and I was watching Green Bay play, and they got a very good offense. I'm very impressed with Green Bay, and very impressed with quite a few teams, especially the Denver Broncos with Tim Tebow, their quarterback. Green flag back out. We're back for the restart. And Jake Cole is the leader.
3 wide with Jake Berg.
Goes Chad Smith to the inside. Oh, the car slammed the wall back there. That was couldn't tell who that was, but someone slammed the wall.
The 20 and the 70, I may have hit the fence.
That was indeed the 20 and 70 Patrick Murphy, who was running 5th, and Jake Berg, who was running in 7th. And Chad Smith's by for the lead. That inside line worked for him, and now he's the leader. Jake Cole's second, and back to third is Arnold Columbia. Remember, Chad Smith ended up picking up this 97 ride mid-season. It actually started out as Tom Weekly. And Weekly decided he wanted to devote all of his time to the truck series in the NNSCRA, so he left the 97 team. So Chad Smith stepped in, and so far, driver Chad Smith has had a real tough time of it. Been pretty much down, lingering around the 35th position in the standings. So he needs something like a win or a transfer into the All-Star race here to boost his spirits, I think.
So it looks like we got a caution out.
Caution is indeed waving. See if we can find out who it is for. Looks like maybe Robert Ban, Amy Nathan in the 55. Looks like they may have gotten involved. So let's take a look at a replay, see why we're under the caution for the second time today. Okay, it looks like maybe Amy Nathan's gonna get a little help from Jake Berg right there. Yeah, I don't know, he just kind of slid along the back of the 55, and Robert Ban and Alex Lozano both getting involved as well. Both the Racing with Jesus race cars are involved in there. And it's another 4-car incident just like we had before for our first caution. So it seems like if someone gets out of shape, others have to pay the price for it. And Chad Smith's going to come down pit road. They're all coming down pit road for mandatory pit stops. This is going to be interesting. Making their mandatory pit stop right now under the caution flag.
I'm leaving the 12 get the first pit stall. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you're right. Jake Cole, the pole sitter, would get pit stall number 1.
Chad Smith pulls into a pit stall. 4 tires, full tank of gas.
Go around to the right side. Looks a little slow there.
You see Hester, the 33, the 6, go by. Oh!
Ooh!
And the 22.
Theo Bain.
Jeff clipped the back of the 97.
So pit road incident happening here, involving the guy who came as the leader, Chad Smith, as well as Theo Bain. That was mighty interesting right there. Well, Jordan Hester's the leader under the caution flag. So he ended up coming out first, and we go through the field here, showing you who's running where. Chad Smith, who came in the leader, is going to come out in 6th position. And Theo Bain, who had that little scuffle with him on pit road, is going to come out in 8th. So they didn't really lose that much, I don't think. But still, nonetheless, there was an incident on pit road between the 97 and the 22. And as Anthony alluded to earlier, the pit road is wide at the beginning, but you come down here at the very end of it, and man, oh man, oh man, does it ever narrow down. So it doesn't leave these drivers very much room to be able to maneuver if a car pulls out in front of them. And you saw an example of that just there with Theo Bain. There's James Bald. He's going to continue on. And so it's going to be Jordan Hester, Adrian Race, Arnold Columbia, Kristen Worry, and it looks like Daniel Schwab is the rest of the top 5. We'll get ready to go back under green.
Look at the jump that the 6 car got. Whoa, 31, 33, rather, 33.
Did he save it?
I think they did go into the fence up there.
Oh, now the caution's out. Silver upside down, barrel rolling.
Stephen Dillon in the 14. And Arnold Columbia is going to get by for the lead. He'll bypass Jordan Hester, and Columbia is our leader under caution. Oh, 33 of Adrian Brace, who was second on the restart. He's involved. And remember, he got turned up the racetrack. That may have been that part right there. Let's see what we're under the caution flag for the 3rd time today. Okay, here's the wreck.
It actually wasn't that initial turn into the wall.
See, the 14 goes up the racetrack, and wow, look at the air.
Stephen Dillon got moved up into the wall, got hit by the 38 and the 21. He got nailed into the wall. And you see the one car just hit Stephen Dillon. Not sure Diego. I think Diego's engine, abrasive engine, just blew. Or unless he hit a car, I didn't see.
Yeah, Diego Brace did indeed. He made a little bit of contact with Stephen Dillon. It kind of ripped off the right front of his race car, and so that's why it kind of looks like an engine failure. But let's go back to green as Stephen Dillon goes for a wild ride. Arnold Columbia is the leader, and we're getting a report that he's coming down pit road. Something amiss on leader Arnold Columbia's car.
Oh, that's a shame. Arnold Columbia was doing so good. You have to come down pit road for a flat tire, maybe?
It's a very similar incident that happened to Jimmy Garcia at Dover over in the NCGMRS Vocaloid World Cup Series. He had a tire go down, uh, and he went to the back of the field, and then, well, loose lug nut, but that that's a very similar incident to what happened to Jimmy Garcia.
We can make Trenton into a pool. If we just fill this whole place up with water, we can make this into the most excellent pool that have ever been created.
Okay. Anyway, seriously, Matthew. You're gonna be in the Snickers Open tomorrow. What are you and other drivers seeing here during the course of this
Well, I've
race?
been talking with the other drivers in the Snickers Cup garage. They are all looking at this race. They're trying to figure out what their cars are due. And I think some of the guys in this race will have the advantage because they are driving these cars and they may be putting their cup setups in, trying to experiment with them. And all the cup guys are really eager to see this. They're trying to figure out, well, what are the tires do? What are the things we have to worry about? And we're trying to figure out what lap cars are going to do to them. Which, in the Oreo Truck Series race, there was a huge wreck that involved a lap car.
James Bald's gonna be a hazard. Whoa!
Oh,
Oh!
Oh, there
oh
they
dear.
go. I knew that was gonna happen.
And a lap car caused it again. But I saw the 18 just nose it into the wall there.
Big wreck.
This is a race back to the line then.
Yeah, Hester and Chad Smith.
There goes Chad Smith.
He made the high side work. He's making the high side work.
Chad Smith, I told you the middle to high line was going to be the best way around the track, and it happens right there.
Chad Smith is easily gonna win the race back to the line.
Correct though. Let's go back. Let's go see who's involved.
Daniel Schwab in the 18. Looks like someone spun on the front stretch. Might have been Teal Bain.
Cruz had some damage.
Yeah. Schwab, I think, is the reason that we're really under the caution, though. Let's take a look.